Alright everyone, it's time for Vermont Issues episode 39. The Vermont Supreme Court will be weighing in on the concept of what's called the sniff test for marijuana. That is, if someone's vehicle smells vaguely of pot, can the cop, without a warrant or any real probable cause, seize the vehicle immediately and force a search? I would oppose this. I think come on, that's dumb. I've seen people drive on marijuana. They drive, disclaimer, I'm not encouraging you to do this. It's still a DUI, but it's, the level of impairment is not substantially similar to, let's say, alcohol or something like that. It's a little bit different. I would say this violates the Fourth Amendment fairly clearly. Marijuana smell will stick on your clothes and other things for quite some time, even if the person doesn't realize it. Like, you get the occasional dirty hippie who always smells like marijuana. They're oblivious to this fact. They're like, oh, let me spray myself with some Axe. I'm sure that nobody will notice my bloodshot eyes or the fact that I can't stop giggling at my own hands. Nobody will notice. It's totally inconspicuous, officer. I don't know what you're talking about. That's basically the way it goes. But come on, this is marijuana. I think we should legalize it, and I think we should take up a different tack than some states. I think we should just say, okay, if it's under a pound of pot, we don't care. Like mass decriminalization. And if you have a couple plants, we don't care about that either. But they shouldn't actually ever fully legalize it in the sense of allowing businesses to come in and abuse people and sell them their GMO Monsanto weed or something. Let's be more hippie friendly because it's the fucking hippie state. It makes more sense in, like, Colorado. Okay, you got your Ivy League skier tourists, and yeah, they probably don't care if they pay $20 a gram. Or you've got up in Washington State, you got your survivalists. Well, they're gonna grow their own anyway. They're not gonna pay for your fucking license. But no, it doesn't make any sense. It's like saying, oh, you spilled a little bit of wine on yourself and went out driving. Now, you're not actually drunk, you haven't had anything to drink, but you smell a little bit kinda sorta like alcohol, so they decide to stop you. The case this pertains to, somebody had a little bit of snow on their license plate, and that was considered probable cause to pull them over. In winter, sometimes you get hit with some slush coming off a truck, and your license plate's not visible. That doesn't mean you're attempting to conceal your identity or do anything wrong. It means it's winter in the state of Vermont. Have you not seen what our winters are like when the roads get all slushy? So this person gets pulled over, and the cop's like, oh, I need to search your vehicle for, I don't know exactly what reason. The cop lost his job over this, by the way. It's not exactly looking good for the argument in favor of the sniff test. And he's like, no, and then the cop's like, well, I smell some marijuana, so I'm gonna have your vehicle towed, and left him stranded 8 miles from home in the middle of a snowstorm. That makes a whole lot of sense. See, that's the problem with authoritarianism. It's deaf, dumb, and blind. It's also sub-orangutan IQ. It's not just dumb, it's super dumb. This is why it shouldn't be happening. Now, probably the state Supreme Court's gonna say, come on. Is there really a compelling reason to say, oh, you smell a little bit like weed, therefore, obviously, we need to tow your vehicle? Probably not. Unless the driver is acting visibly impaired, there shouldn't be a problem. Honestly, who cares? I would say retain DUI for someone who's higher than balls driving down the street, but the smell alone doesn't mean they've gotten high recently. They could be stone cold sober. It could be somebody else smoked in their car. And it's not even illegal, strictly speaking, under our law anymore for somebody to do that. It's like, you have a much bigger problem with somebody drinks and drives and smashes into somebody than you do anything marijuana related in this state. People in the media, the fearmongers, the clickbaiters, want to talk about, oh, there was a 2% uptick in some sort of crime after Colorado legalized marijuana. Notice they never talk about Vermont in these studies, where half the population is high anyway. All sorts of people, most of the people you see on the street here in Vermont have at least tried weed. A lot of them smoke it religiously. I don't see that many problems coming from it. Plenty of problems from alcohol involved with driving. Plenty of problems with people on opiates smashing into a tree or something. Not so many problems with marijuana. So I think this is a dumb case. By the way, it puts our police in danger. What if somebody is a little bit psycho or violent or something, but hasn't otherwise done something wrong? They smell a little bit like weed, and they just go over the edge when they get their car towed, and start stabbing or something. It's not necessary. Who cares if the car smells like pot? Or they drive? Does it appear that they are inebriated to the degree that they cannot drive? Should be the threshold. Not, oh, it's a sniff, sniff. Oh, we smell a little bit of bud. Well, maybe they smoked it a week ago. Maybe they've got a little bit in their glove compartment. Is it under an ounce? Well, then who cares? It's not exactly drug trafficking. They probably just bought it. They're taking it home to go smoke it there. They got to make a Doritos run. They've got to make a Mountain Dew run or a Twinkie run or something. You can't. It's like when some of these states have said, "Oh, haha, people who are on medical marijuana can't get guns." Blatantly unconstitutional. Totally and utterly unconstitutional. Government can't convert a right into a privilege. There's a right to travel as well, although we don't fully recognize it with regards to vehicles because you can potentially impact other people. I'm not sure exactly whether I go more towards the sane side of monarchism or the less sane but more purist side of ANCAP on that. I'm not entirely sure where I stand on that particular issue of having to get a license in order to drive in the first place. Honestly, I'm not sure, to tell the truth. Unless somebody's weaving to and fro in traffic because they're drunk and driving, I'm not sure that I really have a fucking problem with it. Well, we've got some crazy laws already in this country. We don't need to make the police in a state like Vermont look abusive by saying, oh yeah, the cops are going to sniff your car next time you're stopped, and if they smell so much as a hint of the devil's weed, they're gonna pulverize your face with the butt of their gun, and then they're gonna tow your car and leave you in a ditch to drown or freeze to death or something. That's basically what people will take it as. I think it's a terrible precedent to set. That's about all. Peace out.